Okay, now we're going to embark on the fourth part of my tutorial of a few quick and easy approaches to creating original data point layers. This time we'll be collecting data by originating it with a blank or empty well, not totally empty, but a mostly empty CSV file. The results of this will actually be a little more complicated in the sense that you can actually do a lot more configuration that for an end user, like somebody else who would be using other than you for data collection. But you can also do this just to collect your own data points from your desktop, like we've seen in the first exercise. So the first thing I'm going to do here is show you the CSV file I already created. It is called Useful Amenities, and now we get to see how slowly my computer opens up these documents. Here we go. So you can see up here what I've included. We have amenity type, and here I've included the 4 different options we'll be able to choose from. And then these up here are the fields that will be included, the attribute fields, if you recall, from configuring pop-ups. So you don't have to actually have any locational information on anything specific in here. You can actually just have this quasi-skeleton of what kind of data you want to collect. So I'm going to go ahead and just save, close. It always asks that, and I always hit save. And now we'll navigate to the ArcGIS Online account. If you haven't signed in, go ahead and sign in, of course. Navigate to my content. And like last week's lesson, our tutorial, we're going to add an item from my computer. Choose File. And actually, we're in Downloads, that's why. Desktop, Useful Amenities. Okay, so now we've chosen our files, we have the title, and of course we have to add tags, amenities, useful. We're going to publish as a hosted layer, of course, and locate features using Latin long. Of course, there's no information in there, but there is a field that the computer will recognize as where to put the latitude and longitude when that data is captured. And we will add the item. So here we come to the detail page for Useful Amenities. It's creating the service. As I discussed in the previous section, we're going to open it, but we're going to be sure and open it to a new map with full editing control so that it doesn't open into a default map that has something in it already. So here, much like again with the CSV exercise we did last week with earthquakes, it brings us by default first to the Change Style page. And this is where we can start to get into actually customizing this more if you were to actually be customizing it or wanting to use it, have an end user in the public using it. Actually don't. There we go. Let's open that a little more. So you can see the default it has gone to is types, unique symbols, and down here, those are those 4 options I gave us on the CSV file down here. So we just want to make those look a little nicer. So it's a very simple process. You open this up, click on the symbol, and you can actually change the symbol. So I just clicked the label for bench, and we can go into anywhere. Let's see, that's a treasure chest. That's not going to help us. Let's do shape square since the bench is squarish. Increase that to 20. Click OK. And I'll just do one other, just so we don't have to watch me labor over this. National Park Service is a good option for finding lots of symbols. So that is blue, I believe. And there is a bathroom icon on there. So click that, increase it to 20, click OK. So you can see I've altered the look of some of these options here, and you can actually move them around. If you hover over the three dots, you can move them up and down in the file to sort of customize how you want the layout to be. So once you've selected everything that you want, you click OK, and then you click Done. Always be sure and click Done or else it won't save what you just did. So now you can actually also add a new feature if you wanted, or a new option people can select from. If you go to Edit, you see the different options we have here to choose from. Click Manage at the bottom, and you can add a new type of feature. So say I wanted to collect information on ATMs. I can add an ATM label there, or property, and add the icon. But I'm not going to do that right now. Click Save Changes. It's your only option. So now we go... Okay, so now we actually want to add some data to this layer. And we're going to do it from within this web map. So we're going to click on the Edit button. And let's just zoom it in somewhere here. Let's go to Death Valley. Okay. So much like the web application we did in part 1, you just click on the icon you want to create a point for and select the point and then input the data. That was all in our CSV file. Now I didn't make any of this required. I actually didn't. I should have changed the data type back in the upload configuration box, the CSV file, to change that for a date format, but I didn't. But you can, of course. I'm just going to add bench at the side of the road, just so there's something else there. And we're not going to worry about latitude and longitude. Well, we're going to look at how we can actually view that information later on, because that gets automatically captured. So much like the web app, you just close it and the information is captured. Now let's just do a couple more. Blue. Clean. Close. And some shade right there. Cool. Close. Okay. So now we've created data, actually. We can go into our details page and look at the information we gathered. So as you can see, it actually treated the information we uploaded from the CSV file as empty points. But that's okay, especially since this is our own data. All we're concerned about is this new stuff here. Okay, so now that we've taken a look at our data, we see it's there, we've captured something. What do we do with this next? There's a couple of things you can do. If you go back into your contents, my contents, you will see the feature layer that you created when we uploaded the CSV file. Notice we don't actually have a map associated with it yet. So all of this information we've been gathering is just data points. There's no other information, such as a base map that has been saved, that has been captured on top of. So this could actually just be a standalone thing. Now you could go in, create a web map, add this layer, maybe add another layer, something else from the Living Atlas, and start creating something more complex. But something else that's really cool to do is you can actually download this information back onto your desktop by clicking on and going to the Item Details page, clicking Export Data. You can see you have a few options here. We're going to stick with CSV since we just love that. Export to CSV file, of course you have to give it tags, as always. So, amenities. And you're actually going to have to add something to make it unique, because we already have a file that's called useful amenities, so I'm just going to call it part 2. Export. So now we have a brand new detail page. This will actually have a new line item on our My Contents page as well, which is why you have to make the name unique, the title of it. So now we want to actually download this. We'll download as a zip file. This is quite small, so it should open up pretty quickly. And let's open up that document. So here we go. Now this gets to a point that I didn't actually stress too much earlier, but this is how you can actually see the latitude and longitude for the data you captured. If you wanted, you could actually go back in and then upload this to ArcMap and then work in ArcMap with your original data layer as well. So there's a lot of different ways you can kind of push and pull this information back and forth between the two interfaces. But in general, it's just a really good way. This and the other method we looked at in part 1 and 2. Again, just really quick and easy ways to create some original data so that you can actually move on with doing some cool and original work in your web apps. So I hope that was useful.